Do they really think the whole world is too foolish to notice?
Either you stand with the forces of freedom, or you're in league with Maduro and his mayhem.
Will we stand with the Syrian people or with their oppressors?
The former Maduro regime has oppressed its people for years.
Repressive regime of Bashar al-Assad.
The tyranny of the now defunct Maduro regime.
The Assad regime, its brutality and repression.
Active threat to the entire region.
Growing threat to regional peace and security.
It is time for Maduro to go.
It's time for Assad to get out of the way.
The stories of Syria, Venezuela, and the protest movements there are from two separate books. But can someone tell me why anyone who's in charge of America always reads off the same manual when their national interest radar spots another regime change opportunity? Let's go through the steps that are a must. Venezuela versus Syria. Some great examples for you. People in American politics have a special sense for legitimacy. What if they have a device for that or something?
From our perspective, he has lost legitimacy. He has failed to deliver on the promises he's made.
In its role as the only legitimate branch of government duly elected by the Venezuelan people, the National Assembly invoked the country's constitution to declare Nicolas Maduro illegitimate, and the office of the presidency therefore vacant.
You see, the manual's so great that even Donald Trump couldn't help picking it up after Hillary. Yes, the idea is not just to start backing the opposition, you physically got to be there with them.
I'm going to be loud, President Trump's going to be loud, the United States is going to be loud, and Maduro will hear us because we won't stop talking until we see Maduro go.
Now, that's a classic. What could be more classic? It almost makes you imagine that as kids, all American politicians are told, when you grow up, you'll never succeed unless you sanction some filthy regime. Syria, check. Venezuela, check.
We'll keep increasing sanctions to cut off the regime from the money it needs to survive.
We're going to announce sanctions against Petroleos de Venezuela, Sociedad Anima, or PDVSA, as it's known by its Spanish acronym, the state-owned oil monopoly.
Since the opposition in places like Venezuela or Syria are pretty much aware of the contents of the manual, they know when it's the right time for them to start asking for weapons. Armed rebels, defected soldiers, there will always be those who will be happy to get new guns.
As Venezuelan soldiers, we're making a request to the US, he says, to support us in logistical terms with communication, with weapons, so we can realize Venezuelan freedom.
What really we need is ammunition and anti-tank and anti-aircraft missiles.
Back to the States and the people in charge there. When you're only one step away from sending your own army in to get the job done, don't forget to say that
all options are on the table.
Does that mean you're considering those?
Which is all options, always. All options are on the table.
You know what? All of this was unintentional, never planned.
We will stop looking to topple regimes and overthrow governments, folks.
We cannot resolve someone else's civil war through force.
Is that also in the manual?